Just popped. Oh, that just popped. Oh, another popping. Well, it's all popping. So is the real estate market popping? Is it going to pop? Let's talk about it. Today's topic is the question that everybody keeps asking. They're like, is this a housing bubble? And I mean, really, can we keep going on at this pace? So today's topic, I'm here to tell you, the real estate market is on fire. It is on fire right now. And sellers are sifting through multiple offers. They're in some cases getting over 100,000 more than their asking price. And, it is just one of those markets I have never seen before. And anything remotely like it was back in 2005 through 2007. And guess what happened after that market? It exploded. It was the worst recession in history. Housing prices dropped. We never saw an end to the drop in prices. So is it going to be like that now? Are we in a housing bubble? I've got 6 reasons why it isn't, guys. And I'm here to tell you that I have been doing my research. I have been watching every possible economic forecast I can get my hands on. I've been watching all the gurus. And guess what? They're also saying this ain't no bubble. In fact, Dave Ramsey himself, who's a conservative financial guru, as you guys might know, is even going on record as of last week to say, this is not a housing bubble. Housing prices aren't going to flop. This is going to continue. And y'all need to jump into the market to buy and sell now. So let's talk about 6 reasons why this is not a housing bubble, contrary to popular belief. And again, yes, we're long overdue for a recession. We kind of beat the odds, but guess what? Who would have ever thought we'd be in the midst of a pandemic? Nobody. So here we are in the midst of a pandemic, which altered the course of time in what we're experiencing right now. And so here we are, thriving in this economy, in the real estate boom of the century. So let's talk about the reasons why this is. And I know I talk about this quite a bit when you guys watch my videos. So if you're paying attention, some of this will not be, new news. But let's talk about the first one. We've been at a record low inventory in Portland and across the country, but mostly in Portland for a long time. In fact, they say a balanced market is 6 months, but I don't remember the last time we had 6 months of inventory in Portland. Now, maybe we had 6 months of inventory in different pocket areas of Portland, because every neighborhood's different. I tell everybody, it's like saying the United States weather report today is 80 degrees. We know that's not true. But the reality in Portland is we've been on a low inventory situation for quite some time, well before COVID hit, and then COVID hit. So we are not keeping up with the demand of Portland, even though there's a lot of people moving out of Portland. I know you guys want to hear about that, but that's going to be a different episode. We have record low inventory. So we're currently standing right under 1 month of inventory in April, May 2021. Here's the other factor, you guys. Builders can't keep up with the demand. We in Portland don't have enough land, and we are really looking for land in pocket areas. That's why if you go and look for a lot, when people call me and say, I want to buy land and I want to build, I'm like, are you sure? Because land is so expensive. I mean, the cost of building is horrific right now. If you've been tracking lumber prices, you guys, oh my goodness, to build even just a simple fence in your backyard or a garden bed right now is going to cost you 3 times what it did a year ago. Why is that? Because lumber prices have gone up because mills are struggling to keep workers, to get people employed to work in the mills. And there is a mass rush. There's a gold rush in building homes. And so everybody's putting in their orders. I've even talked to a timber broker who thinks we could run out of timber or OSB board, which are key components, as you know, to building a house. So if you're thinking about building a house right now, it is probably at the highest level it's ever been, at least with timber costs. And I can tell you personally, just even trying to remodel a bathroom, we're seeing the cost of materials and delays in materials because we had the ice storms in Texas. We've had the boats getting stuck in the canals, you name it, that's what's been going on. The other third piece to all this is mortgage rates. Mortgage rates have been historically low. We've had low interest rates leading up to the pandemic, and then they dropped again when we were in the pandemic. They've been very low. It is very cheap to borrow money. The buying power is substantial. If you're going to go out there and rent right now in our area, you almost have to check if it's cheaper just to buy, because in a lot of cases, people are like, wow, I can get a mortgage payment for less than I can rent for. So that perpetuates all of this. The demographic trends are creating new buyers. We've got new buyers coming into this marketplace on the daily. We have a surge of Californians coming in. They're leaving their situation that they don't feel is all that great and is super expensive down there to come to Portland. And there are other people coming into Portland from other areas, but California is having a lot of exodusing happening. We're also leaving the state. There's a lot of people leaving Portland and Oregon for various reasons, but there's a lot of influx and demand coming into Portland from their situation. The lending standards do remain strict, you guys. And what's phenomenally happening is that we have a lot of buying power going on, more cash offers than I've ever seen, more people with substantial down payments. And what's interesting in this market, when you look at multiple offers, is you find out that people have not only strong financial positions, but they're able to absorb a low appraisal with their own money. We're finding people are not asking for repairs as much. So their cost of buying a house is exponentially higher than it used to be, and they're able to take on the financial risk with that. So a lot of money is in this economy right now. A lot of people argue where it's coming from, and there's still a lot of people who are out of jobs and all that. I'm not here to get into that discussion. Just know that our economy is thriving, and there are buyers out here with immense amount of buying power. Foreclosure activity right now is muted. So I know a lot of people keep asking me, gosh, during the pandemic, they muted the foreclosures. They didn't allow people to be evicted from their houses for, not paying rent or not paying on their mortgages. Well, that's still yet to be seen. And what I'm being told is that there will be some sort of event that happens down the road with some people that haven't caught up with their mortgages. But for the most part, people have a tremendous equity position in their house. So for them to go through the foreclosure process and lose a house when they could easily stick it on the market and just sell it, even in duress, is pretty low. Yet to be seen, we're tracking it. But as of right now, it doesn't seem to be that we're having a big push on foreclosures. But I am tracking that. And that is something that a lot of people are saying, will that circle back to us? But they're not giving away bad loans right now, you guys. They're being incredibly strict about who's getting the money. And the people that have the strongest buying power are the buyers. So people, while they are paying exorbitant amounts for houses right now, they have the financial means to do it, and they're not putting themselves at risk like we did in the 2005, 2007 era. So when people say, hey, we're in this housing bubble, the truth is we have a bigger problem that nobody's talking about. The truth is we could run out of housing. We could be at a place where we have nothing to sell people, or we have very few options and we have a demand that just keeps increasing by the day. So at the very heart of all of this is I can't tell you, what the future holds, but I can tell you just in watching the daily activities of what's happening is we are in a place where we don't have enough supply. The demand is higher than the supply. It's building by the month. And unless we get interest rates to go up substantially, where it would create a domino effect on the buying power, we're going to see this going on for quite some time. And with the pandemic, everything has changed. People can live where they want to live now. They can change. They want to change. They're looking at their housing situation saying, it's time to do something. And most financial gurus right now, if you do your homework, they're saying, go buy. It's the best time to do it, even if you're paying a lot of money for a house right now or overpaying in some cases. So while I can't tell you what the future holds, I can tell you that right now, values have been stronger than ever, and housing has been the highest demand we've ever seen, which I didn't know was even possible. But here we are in 2021 in a thriving real estate boom. And we see no end in sight at this point. So stay tuned. I'm tracking all of this like crazy, but we currently, folks, are not looking down the pike of a housing bubble where it's just going to pop and there's going to be, houses everywhere to buy, even though we all want to believe that, because that's what we're used to seeing when markets swell up like this. Doesn't mean we're going to have some kind of reckoning at some point with something. But as of right now, we're just not seeing it pop and do what we saw back in the recessionary time. So if you guys have any questions, if you're thinking about selling and you want to know what the strategy looks like, hit me up. We're regularly talking to people that are saying, should I sell now? How do I get ready? How do I make this move? We are helping people do this even in this crazy market. So thanks for watching, you guys. If you have any comments on this, feel free to hit me up and send me back an email. I'd love to hear all your thoughts.